Hello, this is Geeta Prana signing on. I am making this video of my wings junk journal now because I realized that if I don't make it today, it will be at least a week before I can. So there's a few things that aren't quite finished in it. I don't have any fibers or ribbons on the tags, but I will put them. I am going to put this one I'm going to donate it to the retreat that will go into our bookshop, and we will sell it through our bookshop either in person or through the mail. So this is a junk journal that originally I had created hoping to join in a swap at Junk Journal Junkies, but realized I didn't have the time to actually finish it in time. So I kept the theme and just kept going with it. It's made out of cereal box. It measures more or less 5 by 9, but this flap, this border on the end makes it 7. Used mostly all scraps, and I did a lot of mixed media techniques and played around a lot. I had great fun making this journal. The paper I mostly used was this stack or pad that I got for a couple bucks at a closeout store here from Colorbach called Summer Kiss. I used an awful lot of it. And I used some other papers too, the main one being K Sarasra from K & Company. So the spine is now Tyvek after the original spine I had made for this junk journal slid when I was gluing it, and I had to tear it off and do quite a bit of reconstruction on the cover. It's easy twine binding. There are actually 3 signatures because I pulled some signatures out there. It looks like there's more. And to cover that up, I made a flower on the spine with what it is I hand dyed some old fabric and put it on some of that foil tape that you get from the hardware store, and then cut it through the Biggs dies, the tattered flowers. And of course another Biggs die on the front. This is butterfly, Tim Holtz, and the border is made out of chipboard, which I ran through my in one of my embossing folders, and then I colored up with acrylic paints. So here is some more technique that I did. This is hand stamped and distressed. Here's the inside of that border. You can see this is not so fancily decorated. Here's the first page. There's lots of embellishment in this journal. And there's also a lot of places for journaling. So a couple tags. One of these is a Project Life card, which fits. I'm going to go through fast because this is going to be incredibly long video otherwise. Here's the first page. Has a bee theme. Some tags. Some of them are coffee dyed. Some of them I just distressed and put. I have that honeycomb die. So here's some little die cuts on there. I stamped the pages. These are blue pages from, what is it called? Southwest paper. I stamped them randomly. They are not perfect, and I don't mind. And I also distressed them with tea dye ink. All the pages that are non-decorative paper. Here is butterfly and a frame that I cut out and some vellum and another Project Life card, and these are pages from an old diary. Oh, I see that I'm having a terrible glare, a terrible shadow. Pages from an old diary that I've cut up. Here's the belly band. Here is, well, this is a chipboard piece or that I got from another Colorbach kind of chipboard cutouts book, and it moves on this belly band. And here's one of those little file folders. I can't use this hand because of this shadow, and with a butterfly on it. Because the theme of this journal is wings, there's an awful lot of butterflies in here. And I did break into my Graphic 45 what's the name of this collection? I'm forgetting right now because, of course, I'm doing a video and you never remember these things. Someone will recognize it. Here is an on the edge die, butterflies. I have it a couple places. Here's the second page. Now, whenever there was a white backside of the decorative paper, I made my own decorative paper. So this is a stencil and lots of other kinds of, this was a faux marbling paper that didn't work out. And so I inked it up with some distress and a stencil. And this, of course, is one of those jelly bean soup little baggies that I have a bunch of painted deli paper that I've made over the years for projects and not used, so that's what this is. Here is a tuck spot, and it has a little art tile on it that, I don't know if you can see that, that I made, and part of the on the edge die. Another tuck spot with a tag. What I tried to do is, this is actually quite bright, and so I did a lot of tea dye, coffee dye, and distressed vintage kind of looking to calm it down a little bit. This is a piece of fabric that I've put on the back of foil tape and cut into a banner, and a UT butterfly, and a cloth leaf that I got at Michael's ages ago. An envelope. And on the back of this envelope, I use the retreats envelopes, and so I feel like I should honor the reason this retreat exists, which is Swami Vivekananda, and actually somebody who comes to the retreat might actually be the new owner of this journal, and they'll appreciate this. Swami Vivekananda was to India 100 years ago as Martin Luther King is to the United States, and so here's his picture, which is on our envelopes, and one of his sayings. And here's a nice, there's some stamping in here, but I'm not a very good stamper, and for some reason I just don't think about putting words. It's really strange. This one is from Helen Keller. It says, "The best and most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or even touched. They must be felt with the heart." Here is one of my fancy pages. It's got tape made from the painted deli paper that I did, and I'm into this wow clear sparkle powder, embossing powder, and this is what this is covered with, and a page that I painted over with gesso-like blue paint so that you can actually write on it, a postcard which I think it doesn't exactly fit here, but it's perfect, some more fabric that I've put onto foil tape, and a Pantone paper that I tried to marbleize, and it didn't really work out, so I didn't use it for another project. Here is the back of the Pantone paper, which I did, made my own pattern paper, and which is through a stencil. I put this damask design, and some die cuts, and a tag with wing on it in gold. Does that show up? Yes. Although mostly I make things that are glitzy and glittery, in this journal I haven't made a lot. Small tag. Another file folder and some paper in this pocket. Another stamp on this paper, and this one I made out of those little file Rolodex tabs, a little place to journal, and a banner simply because I thought the page was a little blank. Here is another page that's blank and otherwise stamped. On this page we have, oh, okay, so I have been making these embellishments. I don't know if you could see it. I have this notion, these are ladybug stamps that I tried to dimensionalize by putting some golden gack, and that goes kind of turns into a lacquer, plus some glossy accents to make it stand out. I don't know if you can really see that. And it's on foil, which has been colored with alcohol ink, which was, I'm kind of underwhelmed by that. But then with some little die cuts and punches and some fibers and banners and another jelly bean bag, and this is falling out, and an envelope in the middle of the signature. Blank page, another blank page, another tuck spot with another file folder, and this cute little owl punch that's from Martha Stewart. That's the only thing I bought for this journal was this owl punch. Here is a CD cover that I've stamped up and distressed up, and this die cut that everyone recognizes. Here is one of the very few downloads from Graphics Fairy that I used because I'm selling this journal. I don't want to put any free downloads in. But Graphics Fairy I can use up to 6, and so I've got about 4, and a butterfly that I've embossed and also foiled. The tape is tissue tape that I made, and this is a technique, of course, that I learned from Cheryl, who is Deli Girl 61 on YouTube. I never thought you could emboss it, and it really looks beautiful. So thanks to Cheryl for that tip, and then I made my own patterns on the back. And here's the other side of that decorative paper and a tuck. The other side of the Pantone faux marbleized and some fabric tape that I had previously dyed up. Here is another of the, what do you call that, tissue tape that I made, the other side of the envelope, another jelly bean bag, and then this little tag that I don't have in there belongs in here too, which is the download from Graphics Fairy, which I just absolutely love, and put some wow powder on the wings. And this is a vintage postcard that actually belongs to us. It's a postcard that was written by the French author Romain Rolland, probably what, 1927, that's what it is. So that's the back of this one. Another sort of blank page with a stamp, some squirrel die cuts, the other half of the stencil page I made. This is the Retreats logo, which I then stamped extra trees, etc., and used distress inks to color up. And I learned this technique from Diane at Art of Craft New Zealand. She's incredibly talented. I love what she does, and I'll put her link down at the bottom of the video. More blank paper. This is my deli paper painting up, die cuts, and another jelly bean bag. Peacock, some of the paper from Summer Kisses. Just a blank, I haven't got anything in this pocket, and some die cuts. This is another one of those painted up with blue paint page over a book page. A bird on a pocket, nothing in the pocket. Nothing except the paper back here. This is one of my sprayed papers. This I think I showed a picture of on Junk Journal Junkies. This is a technique that I learned from Diane at Art of Craft New Zealand. It's embossed and inked up. And this is a pocket. And it says everything in the universe is yours. Stretch out your arms and embrace it with love. And then here's my other little obsession with this journal. Here I was trying to make these bugs look like they were encased in amber, and I don't know how well I succeeded, but it was fun to do. And some more little papers, some paint chips, die cut and paper, jelly bean bag, die cuts. This is a jelly print that I did on packing tape. This is a tag that I made ages ago that I thought, oh, well, it's perfect to go in here. Yeah, there's a really bad shadow, but I might leave this. It says fly, and on the back it's just blue. This is another border, let's see if I can, that I made with a stamp, stamping along the edge with these little bird stamps, and then I inked them up, and I also, looks like I used some wow powder on it. And then on the next page is the back of the border with some washi tape and some coffee dyed paper that has some really cool bubbles on it. Another envelope. On this side is another one of my ladybugs, a doily, and then here's another one of my dimensional. I like these kind of goofy things that turn dimensional. This is an ant that this pool of paint is more or less lacquerized on there, and then everything else is stamped except for the ant in the middle, which is a plastic ant that I've had floating around. We used it, some friends of mine and I used it as a gag, you know, a joke on somebody years ago, and I've had it floating around my desk, so I used it. Another page, deli tape, die cuts. This is another tag that I made using Graphic 45, or actually Hampton Art stamps and some of my other stamps. I haven't done anything on, oh yeah, I have. Blue only on the back. Some of my tags I haven't quite finished yet, but I want to finish this video. Stamping, this is a technique I used where I embossed this stamp on, and then I kind of painted it over with acrylic paint and wiped off where the emboss, and it came out kind of like an Egyptian, what do you call that, faience. And so I put a piece of paper in the middle. Look, I really love this little faience look. And here's my peacock page. Some people have seen the pictures that I posted on Journal Junkies. This is a broccoli packet that comes from the Hudson Valley Seed Library that puts these gorgeous pictures on their seeds. And then another of the journaling cards from Graphic 45's collection that I don't remember. I made this butterfly by putting heavy gel medium through a stencil and then putting all these sequins and beads and glitter on it. Here is the other half of the paper that I did with embossing and inking, and this little boy I got from Graphics Fairy, and I made the wings that will go on it, and I used crackle medium to make it look kind of ancient. This is just a tuck spot, and here is a frame. I stuck a picture from the retreat here, but you can easily get it out and put something else. Here is one of the papers that I made using a stencil and some looks like distress stain, and I put these little ladybugs on as the pattern. You can see. And here is another tuck spot using more butterflies, more tags. Another strip from the jelly plate using the, what do you call it, packing tape. Here is another bug and amber and some bookmark that I've had forever. Here I couldn't help myself. I had to go for these cute little, I know how to make these little punch ladybugs, and it's perfect for this theme, so I put it in with some other things. These are made out of, these leaves are made out of the floral cloth that you get sometimes with bouquets of flowers. Another Tim Holtz butterfly die cut with some tags and some cloth tape that I made. This is a jelly print that I was practicing, and it's called faux sheen collé, where you kind of double print, but it came out so bright that I covered a little bit of it with gesso, so you could actually write right over that. And another page with a die cut that I powdered up. Another page with another ladybug on it and some tags, more. I made the stamp that, I carved the stamp with the funky lines on it. And there's some paper in here. I stopped putting extra things in because it started getting really chunky, and I thought, let people put their own things. More of this packing tape, jelly print. This most people will recognize as coming from Graphics Fairy. I put the butterfly on, and it's on one of my old spray papers from when I used Lindy's Stamp Gang and whatnot. And the negative for the die cut squirrels. Another deli paper tape. This is a die cut that I love. It's from Vintage, and it's ginkgos and dragonflies. And the dragonfly shows up here. Another jelly bean bag, a cucumber seed packet. Another goofy ladybug. This page I got carried away and I layered up too many layers. And a tag that I ousted from somewhere else and put in here. Page. Here is one of my Crafty Irina inspired tags. The paper had lines in it, and the coat hanger just reminded me of towels. So I made these little towels and made this little kind of fringe on the bottom, and then I put doggy prints on it. Here's another tag. I'm not sure I'm done with this one, using embossing powder and distress ink and my die cuts from, oh, I forget what that alphabet is called. And these I learned also from Diane of Art of Craft New Zealand. These are little tickets, and I have them in several places in this album, that stamped and embossed and all sorts of other little techniques on them. I love these little tickets. And here is another blank page, a whole blank page. This is my Lose My Mojo and Find It Again page. These eggs, these Ukrainian Easter eggs, I know how to make them, and they take a long time. And so why this is here is I was remembering that my mother used to say to me, I don't know how you could have all this patience for fiddly little projects without having patience for any person. You're so impatient with people, but you have infinite patience. So this is my patience page, and because it's Ukrainian Easter eggs, this vintage lady here is actually my grandmother, whose life was kind of out of a Tolstoy novel. Here's a coin envelope that I made using the same Ukrainian Easter egg pattern, and likewise this flourish from Tim Holtz, and more of these guys. And more pages with tissue tape on them. Gorgeous, gorgeous. I really love this. This page I think is beat dyed. I forgot to say some of the pages here are beat dyed. Stamped. The other end of the sheen collé paper with an envelope pocket, which I haven't put anything in. Another on the edge butterfly die. This page I actually love. This is the back side. I just fooled around with the back side of these butterflies and put some stamping on them. And then I took the negative of this die, which is also a stamp, and it's also, I think, from Tim Holtz. And I was going to make a coin envelope, but I realized that that will kind of mess up this little die fitting inside. So it's just folded paper. And then here is the original Crafty Irina tag that inspired me to begin with, and I think I've showed a picture of it in some other places. And a tag that I made from the same die and stamp as this one. This is a bag, an owl bag that someone brought me because, you know, if you're collecting junk, people bring all sorts of recyclable things to you. So I recut it down to size to fit in this book, and the other owl's upside down, but it doesn't matter. This last, is it one of the last? Yeah, this is the last page. No, this is the last page. This is more Tim Holtz kind of techniques. It's a pocket also, with some, you put something in there, with stamping and what do you call that stuff? Nah, I won't remember because I'm doing this video. But anyway, it didn't quite work out, so, but I still love it, so I put it in the book. This is freezer paper that I wanted it to be more stiff than parchment paper. So this is freezer paper, which I dyed up, and then I made into this ruffle and sewed it onto the page. And then here's a piece of fabric, and I just kind of like the way it dangles down, so it's another one of the fabrics that I painted. And then this is just plain, it's the last page. And then the last thing in this journal, to make it so that the pages kind of work out, because I had to pull a signature out of this simple twine binding, is a pocket. And there's nothing in it now, but there will be. And so on the back, it's just plain, more or less. And eventually I'll put a tag with my info in it. And the front wings, most people have seen this already. So thank you for watching. I hope you love this. I can't tell you how many wonderful ideas I get from watching other crafters who make these kinds of books. And for me, it's kind of like a meditation when I make these. So it's kind of my retreat from the retreat. But I love making them, and I hope that somebody will love this in the end. And so thank you again for watching, and have a wonderful day.